Hey, Bastish B for 64K, and welcome to a new episode of Retro Remakes. And welcome back. So this show is all about taking a look at retro remakes of classic arcade, console, or home computer games, official or unofficial. And today's game we're going to have a look at is Turbo Outrun, Sega's arcade game from 1989. It's recently got a remake on the PC. It is unofficial. Is it exactly a remake? Not really. It takes elements from the original arcade, mixes in elements from the original game, and kind of becomes its own thing. It is mostly based on Turbo Outrun though, but more on that a little bit later. But in order to understand this new version, let's take a quick look at the original arcade version. 1989 saw the release of Turbo Outrun by Sega in the arcades. This is a sequel to the original arcade game Outrun, which came out in 1986 and was designed by legend Yu Suzuki. Most of the same team from Sega's AM2 division worked on this arcade sequel, including Hiroshi Kawaguchi, who composed the original Immortal soundtrack. And although this isn't quite as good as that, it still has some rocking Sega tunes to get you in the mood for tearing down those highways. In this version, you have to race across the USA, from New York to LA, and features 16 stages in total. Unlike the original, you cannot choose your path and there's only one to follow, but there are a bunch of extra features to make up for this. First, as the name suggests, your Ferrari is outfitted with a turbo booster to send the car into overdrive for brief periods of time. You can't use it all the time or else the car overheats, so you've got to keep a reasonable balance between driving well and using it on those nice long straights, or to boost start after a crash. Another cool aspect is that after every 4 stages you get to take a break and have a chance to choose an upgrade for your car, from a souped up engine, better gripping tires, or an enhanced turbo feature. And the last major addition is you racing against an opponent as well as the time clock. If he beats you to the last of the 4 checkpoints, your girlfriend would ditch you and join him for the next leg of the race. So much for true love. Is this game as good as the original? No, it's not. But that doesn't mean it's bad. It's still a very cool, fun, fast-paced arcade ride with good graphics, a cracking soundtrack, and tons of variety in its 16 stages to make it a game still well worth a go on MAME or the arcade original if you can still find one kicking about.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
And now that you know a little bit more about the original arcade, let's take a look at this new PC version. Turbo Outrun Reimagined is a fantastic new unofficial PC release by Coda Skids, and is a huge homage to the classic 89 Turbo Outrun arcade game, but also in a sense 80s and early 90s Sega Superscaler arcades in general, hence the title Reimagined as opposed to Remake. So what we have here is a new game made with Unity that runs at a blistering 60 frames per second and takes the original Turbo Outrun and plays with it, taking its best features and remixing it with modern graphics and large doses of classic pixel art, mashed together for something that shouldn't really work, but in this case it works brilliantly. Turbo's best features are still here, with the nifty turbo boost and all the car upgrading and repairs available between legs of the races. And now onto the new features. The game also offers 2 modes of play. Original, which is the straight turbo arcade, meaning point-to-point racing against the clock and an opponent, plus it also offers the new work-in-progress outrun mode, which gives Turbo the original Outrun's best feature, which is branching paths to make your own way to your final destination. You also now have 5 vehicles to choose from, each with slightly different stats, but overall they feel pretty much the same. It's still fun to have the options of the original Outrun car, the Turbo one, a Chase HQ looking Lamborghini, a Corvette, and even the bike from Sega's Super Hang-On. You can also pick your own music in the beginning from either Outrun, Turbo Outrun, or Super Hang-On, or just have it randomly play from all those games. Unfortunately, you can't select your
your own favorite tunes, like in the original. But I love the fact that Skids, who's clearly a Commodore 64 fan, included the C64 Outrun Turbo theme by Jerome Tell as the main menu music, which is a fantastic choice. There's also a large dose of subtle Sega, C64 and retro gaming references. I love the blatant mountainside stage, with the mountain graphics replicating the Commodore 64 version of Accolade's Test Drive, plus other nods to Sonic, Chase HQ, Fantasy Zone and many more. Clearly the work of a true retro gaming fan. The difficulty is also toned down dramatically from the originals. You can bounce off cars without slowing down too much. Big crashes are also recoverable very fast, which keeps the fast pace going, and it just makes it way more accessible to anyone wanting a bit of retro gaming styled racing fun without being murdered in the process. The graphic style works very well. The insane speed of the road mixed with the classic pixel art looks fantastic. It's done extremely well. This game is available for free or name your own price on PC, and I'll leave links in the video description for you to check it out. It's a wonderful homage to some of my favorite arcade races.
And that's it for this episode. Links to download this game on the video description. Thanks for joining me, Bastish B at 64K. I hope you had a good time. And if you can please like and subscribe, that'll be greatly appreciated. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.
Hit the gas.